Hey everyone, TTL here, and today we're taking a deep dive into the highly anticipated Red Magic Nova gaming tablet. From its powerful internals to its smooth display, this tablet promises to offer an unrivaled gaming experience, but does it live up to the hype? Stick around as we break down everything you need to know. You're watching Typical Tech Lad, where we get to see tech for what it is. To start with, we'll check out what we get in the box itself. Pop up on the lid here, and we have the Red Magic Nova itself in this paper sleeve. I'm liking this all black interior, and we have two boxes housing the accessories. We have the 80-watt charging brick, but this is the EU version, I believe. But Red Magic kindly provide a 3-pin adapter for UK buyers. Damn, that's going to stick out from the wall. We get a red USB-C to USB-C cable, which is nice and thick. A quick start guide, and finally some cool Red Magic stickers with metallic effects. I'm gonna slap these all over my car. Moving on to the design of the tablet. Up front we have the 10.9-inch LCD display. To the right we have two speakers, the 3.1 Gen 2 USB-C port, which does support external displays, more on that later, and a microphone. Around the bottom are the pin connectors for the magnetic keyboard, which I unfortunately couldn't purchase because of it not being in stock when I purchased this tablet. To the left we have two more speakers and the power/lock button, which is also the fingerprint reader. And then up top are the volume buttons, nice and clicky. Two more microphones and the magnetic attachment for the Red Magic stylus, more on that later too. We have the front facing 20 megapixel camera, and turning to the back, that's where the party's at. The Red Magic Nova has a metal unibody design in an anodized finish, and up top running the length of the tablet is this futuristic looking glass enclosure, which is housing the fan, processor and camera along with cooling components. It also has a custom RGB lighting component which lights up with media playback, charging and other functions. It's a nice element differentiating it from the sea of bland backs of tablets. Things missing on this tablet though are there's no SD card slot and also no cellular connectivity options, at least for the UK version. Also, it would have been nice to have seen a headphone jack on here. A highlight of the Red Magic Nova is the built-in cooling fan, which effectively prevents the tablet from overheating and affecting performance with things such as throttling. And they have set up the tablet with 3D internal circulation air duct. There's 9 layers of heat dissipation, which can reduce core temperatures by 25 degrees. Red Magic claiming that is the first tablet with PC level 3D heat pipe technology. And then these are kind of the dimensions of the various components if you're interested in that. But overall, the fan, I'm excited to see how it performs, but we'll be checking that out later on in the video. We'll have a quick look at the Red Magic Nova stylus. In the box we get a user guide, a spare tip, stylus itself, which is finished in this matte black plastic and has 2 action buttons on it. It attaches magnetically to the top of the tablet and charges via NFC from here too, with a battery life up to 16 hours of continuous use. Now for the display, the Red Magic Nova has a 2.8K 10.9-inch LCD display with a 16:10 aspect ratio and up to 144Hz refresh rate. It is also SGS certified for low blue light and comes with 840Hz touch sampling rate. Peak brightness is 550 nits, so not exactly the brightest, but it's reasonable. And then additional settings are things like dark mode, read mode, night light. You can adjust your color temperature from colorful, standard to soft. You also have your generic color functions, and then for refresh rate we have various options from auto all the way up to 144Hz. YouTube playback supports 4K 60 FPS HDR. Of course the display doesn't have HDR compatibility, and playback runs fine with nice colors, but we aren't getting that super contrast of an AMOLED panel. We have wideband level 1 on Netflix and full HD playback resolution, and of course no HDR capabilities, which I have to say after using the Honor Magic Pad 2 really does make the viewing experience so much better. But the LCD panel on the Red Magic Nova is good. The high 312 ppi makes everything look nice and sharp, and the 144Hz refresh rate is buttery smooth. Viewing angles are typical of an LCD display, with a slight color shift to warmer tones at extremer angles, and you can see that more on whiter backgrounds. As for the Red Magic Nova stylus, it's a decent pen which supports palm rejection, as we can see here. and latency isn't too bad, but in real life use it's nice and precise and the lightweight of the pen is good for long usage sessions. Outdoor visibility isn't too bad, to be honest. I was expecting it to be worse, but in the brighter conditions the display is still legible, so that's good to see. For the speaker setup, we have 4 speakers on the Red Magic Nova, flanking both sides of the tablet. These are DTS tuned, and in the settings you can turn DTS sound on and off. You can also select your headphone type, and then you have various sound settings such as smart selection, music, so you can adjust from different EQs, or you have movie and game. But we'll have a quick listen to see what the speakers actually sound like.
Let's get our miracle on.
Speaking of miracles, what, bored of your toy already?
No, 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 I don't think so. No, 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 it's never, ever, ever, ever.
You know, me and Morty were all about those streets.
When it comes to performance, and one of the highlights of the Red Magic Nova, we're working with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 leading version CPU, which is boosted to 3.4 GHz, and the Adreno 750 GPU frequency increased to 1 GHz. I have the 16GB RAM version, but it's also available in 12GB, and everything is running on Android 14 with Red Magic Space 9.5 OS. And Red Magic do promise 1-year OS upgrade up to Android 15, and for RAM you can expand that by an additional 12GB, totaling 26GB, so you've got RAM for days. Benchmarking, Geekbench 6, we get single core score of 2261, multi-core score of 6740, so as expected, high scores. Wildlife Extreme stress test, we can see maintained quite good loops, performance range with a little bit of dips here and there, and the performance monitoring showed us the battery went from 34 to 21%, and the battery temperature from 24 to 40, and a frame rate of 20 FPS to 30 FPS. For read and write speeds, we can see 742 on write and 1.8 on read. Just going to connect my external drive, writing a file from my USB-C 3.0 external hard drive to the Red Magic Nova. We're a bit slow, looks like it's writing around 10 megabytes a second, but I guess 3.1 compatible hardware would perform a lot better. And we'll check out what we have in the settings. So normal stuff in Wi-Fi, obviously Bluetooth. I've got 3 different connections here: connectivity, airplane mode, hotspot and tethering. Connected devices, we have Z Smart Cast, which allows you to cast your tablet to other devices. We have stylus settings, and obviously the keyboard and touchpad if you have that accessory. You have SyncMind AI System Engine, which is kind of like an overview of your tablet's current state and performance, and then various options for the cooling fan. You can have balanced or fast cooling, and various other options for fast cooling whilst charging. You can mute the fan during calls. You can have a startup light and a startup sound. And then just generally browsing around the tablet, I mean, the OS is okay. It's not the best out there. It's not the most polished, but it's okay. And we have a quick look at control panel. And you can also use pop-up windows with a limit of 3. So just an example here, and I've used 3 different pop-up windows, and the tablet was running absolutely fine, so it can handle those. And then we'll have 2 pop-up windows with 1 main window, and again running absolutely fine. Upload times are super snappy, as you would expect, because of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And general overall performance of the tablet is absolutely fine. No hiccups that I noticed. Everything loads super fast and super quick. We'll just open up a bunch of different apps here, and then we'll launch a heavy app like Call of Duty Warzone and see how the RAM manages. So if I come out of that and go back to a previous app, and we can see it's absolutely fine. App is still running in the background, didn't have to reset or refresh. Now for the star of the show, what this tablet is built for, gaming. The Red Magic Nova has a dedicated app called GameSpace, and this gaming hub provides a suite of tools to optimize your gaming sessions. You can optimize performance from Eco, Balance to Rise. You can also adjust GPU settings from standard power saving to high quality, or you can have custom and adjust as you please. And we also have various plugins that can further enhance your gaming, from AI trigger, scout mode, key remapping, and so many others, so you can use them to your heart's content. And Gravity X allows you to add peripherals across a range of brands, and you can customize them as you please. I've connected my PS5 controller for my gaming session. We'll start off the gaming test with COD Warzone, and in-game we can access the GameSpace settings from a side swipe on either side of the screen. All of your options laid out in front of you, so you have all your plugins, your various options on the right hand side, right, refresh rate, turning the fan on and off, and then obviously you can change the mode of the CPU and also do not disturb. For the settings we have peak visual quality, and I've set everything else to high to really push it to the max. I have a timer on the right so you can see how long I've actually been gaming. We're starting off with 100% battery, the screen brightness is approximately 75%, speakers are around 70%, and right off the bat the game is running a dream. The peak graphics make the game look so good. Wouldn't say console level, but close enough. And we can see the game is running a steady 60 FPS with maybe slight dips down to 57 when there's a bit more action in the gameplay. So 15 minutes in, and I'll switch down from Diablo mode to Rise and see how it performs. Still managing to hit 60 FPS, but we're seeing the dips here and there down to 47. And then we'll come down to Eco and see how that performs. And we can see that it's limited the game to 30 FPS, so nowhere near as smooth as it was before, but if you want to minimize battery drain, then this would be the way to go. And half an hour in, and we'll jump back into Rise and see how it handles that. And it's holding 60 FPS no problem, so performance of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is beastly, and it can handle those demanding graphics with no problem. So after nearly half an hour of COD Warzone, the CPU temperature is around 41 degrees and battery at 36. The fans have been running, so the temperatures are reasonable, and looks like the fans have been dissipating that heat well, and battery is down to 90%, so we lost 10% in that session. Now we'll check out Genshin Impact, and I've set all the settings to the highest possible. Currently running in Rise mode, and we have a steady 60 FPS, and the game looks really nice, really good graphics, and it's running as smooth as it can. Even with more action sequences, it holds 60 FPS solid with no hiccups. Switching down to balanced, and the game still runs at a steady 60 FPS, so no problem there. "40 minutes in of back-to-back gaming, and the Red Magic Nova is performing really well, maintaining high FPS, although I can feel it warming up a little bit around the back. And then after 40 minutes, the CPU temperature is at 41 and the battery is at 35 degrees, so the cooling fans are doing a good job. In other tablets by now, in my experience, those temperatures would have been in the high 40s, and the battery is down to 86%. So holding up well, I would say. We'll check out Jaeger, and again I'll set everything to the highest possible in the graphics settings. And in Jaeger, it looks like the FPS is capped at 45, so although not hitting 60 FPS, it's still nice and smooth, and the game has no problem maintaining that 45 FPS.
Come to me.
Even in more intense scenes, there is some fluctuation of FPS dipping down to 42 here and there, but nothing drastic, and it's running without any hiccups or jitters. And after 50 minutes, temperatures were still good and battery is down to 83%, so overall quite impressed with the performance. We'll check out GTA Vice City, and I've hooked up the Red Magic Nova to an external monitor via USB-C to HDMI adapter, and the game runs absolutely fine as we would expect. Not the most demanding game, but a joy to be able to play. You can also obviously link wirelessly to a telly, but I find connecting via the cable is more responsive. And for PUBG, the highest graphic quality is being Ultra HDR, but when you select that, the frame rate is capped to Ultra. So on those settings, the FPS is capped at 40. The game itself looks really good with the graphics and is running smooth enough.
Get in the car.
But if you do drop the graphics down to HDR, then you can select extreme frame rate, which will give you 60 FPS. And the game runs fine with no problem at that frame rate. And to test PS Remote Play, we'll have a look at Call of Duty and Around the Dream. I mean, I know this is streaming and there might be slight latency issues with the controller not being super responsive, but still totally playable. And I guess that could be down to internet connection as well. But being able to play via this method and running those PS5 graphics is an absolute joy. And the same thing for Red Dead Redemption 2 with no problem streaming the game. And again, an enjoyable experience. After all of that gaming, the Remote Play, the Red Magic Nova does impress. You can really push it to the limits with games, and the game's space functionality really elevates that experience. Temperatures were well managed and gameplay itself was sublime. Also, after all of that, the battery dropped down to 72%, so obviously faster drain because of the gaming. I think it's done a good job. For battery, the Red Magic Nova comes with a 10,100 mAh battery which supports 80 watt fast charging with the included charger, which can charge this tablet 0 to 100 super fast, 55 minutes in fact, as claimed by Red Magic. In my use, battery was reasonable. We saw whilst gaming and pushing the tablet, it will obviously drain faster, but that is mitigated a little with the fan. But with general light use like browsing, web and watching videos, I managed to get 2 days before having to reach for the charger. On the PC Mark battery life test with screen brightness at 75%, refresh rate set to auto and speaker volume at 25%, it got a score of 7 hours and 45 minutes, which is quite low compared to other tablets I've reviewed, but benchmark doesn't exactly translate to real world use all the time. And if we have a look in the settings for battery, we have power saver, turbocharge, so you can get the maximum charging capability. We have charge separation, device will be charged with power, not the battery. AI control in apps. Scenario AI optimization, optimizing the apps when they're not in use. Power saving settings, automatically turn on power saver at a certain percentage, reducing refresh rate. We can also set dark mode, schedule a restart, and then you have your normal kind of graph that shows your battery drain and the apps or hardware that was draining the battery. For optics, the Red Magic Nova comes with a 20 megapixel front facing camera and a 50 megapixel rear camera. We have various options such as photo, video, slow motion, panorama, document, and full size. When it comes to video, the highest is 4K 60 FPS, and you have various other options below that. You can choose the encoder format, H.264 or 265, and generic options. When it comes to photo, we can turn on various options from here: grid, gradient, volume key, touch to take a photo, things like that. But we'll have a quick look at some videos and photos that I've taken with the tablet. Just doing a camera test to see what the quality is like. This is 4K 60 FPS. Check out the zoom function. So that's coming in all the way down to or up to 10 times zoom. And that's back to 1. Obviously I'm standing behind the tablet, so might not be the best use case of the microphone. and no image stabilization as we would expect. So the Red Magic is a standout gaming tablet in the £450 to £550 price range, offering a blend of high performance and gaming centric features. Powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 leading version, it delivers exceptional speed and smooth gameplay, making it one of the fastest Android tablets available. The 10.9-inch 2K8 display with 144Hz refresh rate ensures sharp visuals and fluid motion, enhancing the gaming experience. First, let's talk about the pros. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor provides top-tier gaming performance. The 2.8K resolution and 144Hz refresh rate offers really good visuals and smooth gameplay. The dedicated gaming hub with features like game recording, notification blocking and aim assist adds significant value. The active cooling system keeps the tablet cool during extended gaming sessions, preventing performance throttling, and the 80-watt fast charging ensures quick power-ups, but it's not all perfect. So the cons I would have to say are the brightness. With the display is vibrant, it isn't the brightest, which might be a drawback in certain scenarios. The battery life, whilst it is decent, could be a bit better for standby. The lack of a headphone jack and dedicated headphone port, which might be inconvenient for some users, and also not having any SD card expansion slot or cellular connectivity. And then I would say the cameras, which are mediocre, but again, that's what we can expect from most tablets. But when compared to other tablets in the same price range, such as the Galaxy Tab S9 FE or the Apple iPad A11, the Red Magic Nova holds its own with its gaming-focused features and high performance, while the iPad Air, for example, offers more of a polished overall experience and better app ecosystem. The Red Magic Nova excels in gaming performance and customization options. So if you're a gamer looking for a tablet that can handle demanding games with ease, the Red Magic Nova is a solid choice. However, if you need a more versatile device for everyday use, you might want to consider other options, even the Lenovo Tab P12 or Lenovo Tab P12 Pro, which comes with an OLED display and is roughly in this price range. So they're more overall better rounded, all-rounding better tablets for productivity. But if you're looking for solid raw performance, especially for gaming, then the Red Magic Nova is the way to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.